If one takes a superficial look at Chad, it appears to be not very important. It's a landlocked state in Central Africa, and it has an underdeveloped society. However, that look belies the strategic importance of Chad, which has evolved over several decades at this point. Chad was colonized by the French shortly after the Fashoda incident in 1898. This became very important, this incident, because it stopped French expansionism throughout the Sudan, going eastwards towards French Somaliland, which later became Djibouti. This is important because with that stopping of French imperial expansion across the Sahel and Sahara, Chad became, in essence, a forward base for French imperialists to protect their interests in the rest of their French African empire. Now, while the French Empire eventually collapsed, President de Gaulle still placed a great amount of importance on defending French interests, both strategic and economic, on the African continent. And again, Chad played an important role because of the country's place within the continent. It is at this one time just below North Africa, which is important for maintaining the stability of Southern Europe, but also it is surrounded by a number of states that have had great instability over the years. For example, we have Gaddafi and post-Gaddafi Libya. We've had Niger. There's a slight border with Nigeria, Central African Republic with its perennial instability. This has been really important. Essentially, the successive Chadian regimes have realized that it is their imperative as a landlocked state and also an undeveloped one to essentially use their services or what they're best at to maintain their regional importance. Specifically, Chad has an army that is known for being very battle-tested. Now, this was really important because when France opted to intervene in Mali to prevent the northern part of the country being cut off from the rest of the country by Islamists in 2012, then 2013, Chad supplied its army, which then allowed France to engage in extremely fierce fighting, and the Chadians took a number of casualties at that time. So in essence, Chad realizes that it has to play ball with international players to then strengthen its internal hand, because once Chad provided more of these troops, you saw an even greater increase in French support for the internal regime. This would include greater intelligence sharing, arms shipments, etc. So today, even after more than 50 years of independence from France in 1960, there has been a continuous French military presence in the country. Now it's related to Operation Barkhane, which is their counterterror strategy across the Sahel, but at the same time, it also relates to protecting French interests in the rest of the continent. So it's for these very reasons that the relationship between Chad and France will continue in the years ahead.